One of the things that causes the most regret in those who didn't value you is seeing you flourish without them. But it's not about showing off or rubbing it in their faces. It's about quietly rebuilding your life. While many spend their energy trying to prove to others that they are doing well, you simply focus on actually being well. This means working on your personal growth, health, professional development, passions, and hobbies. It means looking in the mirror with pride and saying, I am building something solid for myself. There are situations where, even when offering attention and respect, some people simply do not recognize our value. They get used to our presence, start underestimating what we represent, and feed the false idea that we will always be available, even in the face of neglect. In today's video, you'll discover 12 powerful behaviors inspired by Stoicism, capable of provoking exactly the opposite of this perception, awakening a real discomfort in those who didn't value you and the feeling that they lost something important. But it's crucial to make it clear. This content is not meant to encourage revenge or emotional manipulation. It's about regaining control of your own life, strengthening your posture, and reaffirming your dignity. So let's dive straight into the teachings. Number 12. Be silent and remove their access. When someone doesn't value you, the first reaction most people have is to speak up, complain, or try to convince the person that they are wrong. But in Stoic philosophy, there is a much more powerful principle: strategic silence. Silence is not escape, it's control. It's the conscious decision not to feed conversations that bring no results. It's cutting the fuel from discussions that only wear you down. Silence means not only withholding your words, but also the emotional access the other person has over you. It means stopping the immediate responses, stopping sharing your plans and feelings with those who don't know how to handle them. When you stop explaining yourself to someone who doesn't want to understand, something starts to change. The absence of your voice creates an echo, and that echo turns into doubt in the other person's mind. What happened? Why did they change? The Stoics said that strength isn't about controlling others, but controlling yourself in front of others. By remaining silent, you don't lose, you preserve. By remaining silent, you don't diminish yourself, you strengthen yourself. And those who once became accustomed to having your time, energy, and attention for free will feel the weight of the emptiness. They'll realize that the access they once had is not eternal, and that losing you is not something easily repaired. Silence is your most elegant weapon. It's not shouting, it's not insulting, it's not drama. It's simply closing the door without making a sound and walking away. And you can be sure, few regrets hurt more than realizing that someone who was always available is no longer there. Number 11. Rebuild your life without warning. Stoicism reminds us that life is not about proving anything to others, but about living according to our own values. And when you rebuild your life without depending on anyone's approval, something magical happens. Those who ignored you start to feel a quiet discomfort. They realize they are no longer part of your routine, that they no longer know your victories, that they no longer share in your important moments. And this, for their ego, is a hard blow. The true victory lies in moving forward without asking for applause. Because when time passes and they look at you, they'll see someone who has grown, who has prospered, who has become even stronger, and the regret will come naturally. You don't need to shout your evolution, because the whole world notices when you truly change. And those who didn't know how to value you will realize it too. Number 10. Establish unbreakable boundaries. One of the clearest ways to show that you value yourself is by setting firm boundaries. People who don't respect you tend to act that way because they know you tolerate it. And when you decide that certain behaviors will no longer have a place in your life, everything changes. A boundary is not rudeness. It's clarity. It's saying, I will not accept to be treated this way, and backing it up with actions. It's not giving in at the first attempt of manipulation. It's not backing down when the person tests your patience. Marcus Aurelius said that no one can hurt your soul without your consent. Establishing boundaries is exactly that, not allowing someone else's behavior to invade your peace. When someone who didn't value you realizes that they can no longer cross your boundaries, there's a shock. They got used to unlimited access. Now they have to deal with the new version of you, firmer, more aware, more selective. The regret here doesn't just come from what they've lost. but from the realization that they underestimated your strength. And nothing messes with someone's pride more than seeing that you no longer accept what you used to silently tolerate. Boundaries are like walls. Those who came to add will pass, and those who once didn't value you will realize that the privilege of being in your life has been lost. Number 9. Take care of your appearance and energy. Whether you like it or not, the way you present yourself to the world communicates a lot. When someone doesn't value you, they often expect to see you down, discouraged, without shine. That's when you surprise them. Taking care of yourself is an act of self-respect. It shows that, regardless of what happened, you continue investing in yourself. It can be changing your hairstyle, renewing your wardrobe, taking care of your body, posture, and mental health. Stoicism reminds us that the body is our temple. It's not about excessive vanity, but about preserving dignity and vitality. When the person who ignored you sees you more confident, healthier, and more radiant, something inside them begins to weigh. Because they expected to find the same version of before, but instead, they find someone stronger. The regret here isn't just about the loss, but realizing they underestimated your power to regenerate. Taking care of your appearance and energy is not for them. It's for you. But inevitably, those who once undervalued you will feel the impact. Because nothing affects the ego more than realizing that you didn't just move on, you flourished. Number 8. Be emotionally unshakable. One of the greatest weapons against those who don't value you is not reacting the way they expect. They normally expect to see you nervous, begging, trying to explain yourself. When you stay calm and composed, you break all the scripts they had in mind. Being emotionally unshakable doesn't mean being cold or insensitive. It means not allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your emotions. It's practicing the Stoic philosophy of separating what's in your control from what isn't. If the person tries to provoke you, you respond with serenity. If they try to diminish you, you maintain your gaze and your posture. It's not about winning a discussion, it's about winning over yourself. When they realize they can no longer control your mood or manipulate your reactions, the regret begins to grow. Because they lost the power they once had over you. For someone living with their ego, this is devastating. Your inner peace is a silent but deafening message. You don't need external approval to feel good. And deep down, this makes it clear to them that they've lost someone who learned to be self-sufficient. Number 7. Focus on conquering new goals. Nothing makes more impact than moving forward with clear purposes and defined goals. When someone doesn't value you, they often expect you to remain stagnant, stuck in that situation. But you will do the opposite, you will move forward. Choose goals that truly matter to you, whether they are in your career, studies, health, or even your spiritual life. Put energy into new projects, learn new things, expand your horizons. Stoicism teaches that progress is one of the greatest proofs of inner strength. When you grow, you not only change your present, but also redefine how you will be seen in the future. Those who didn't value you, when they see that you are conquering new goals, will start to feel the weight of regret. Because they'll understand that you're living something they no longer have access to. It's not about showing off or seeking revenge. It's about building such a rich and meaningful life that the past no longer matters. When you focus on what truly matters, you automatically distance yourself from those who aren't aligned with your journey. And the most curious thing? Those people often come back, not for true love, but because they feel they've lost a place by your side. The difference is that this time you will be at a level that won't accept anything less than you deserve. Number 6. Show gratitude, even for the bad things. This is one of the most surprising and powerful attitudes. Normally, those who devalued you expect resentment, anger, and bitterness. But you will offer the opposite, gratitude. Not because what happened was just or good, but because in some way it strengthened you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that even difficulties are disguised teachers. Being grateful internally for the learning doesn't mean forgiving the other's mistakes, but recognizing that they didn't destroy you, on the contrary, they shaped you to be wiser. When you adopt this posture, you send a clear message: I am not a prisoner of the past. I move forward lighthearted. This disarms completely those who once underestimated you, because they expected to find someone trapped in pain, but instead, they find someone who turned pain into fuel. And their regret comes filled with surprise. After all, while they may still be stuck in the same pettiness, you've already transcended. Gratitude is a silent force that places you on a higher level. And from there, it's impossible not to see clearly who really deserves to stay close. Number 5. Learn to say no without guilt. One of the greatest sources of devaluation is the inability to say no. When you're always available, always accepting any situation, you send the wrong message, that your time and energy are unlimited. Stoicism values self-control and prioritization. Saying no is protecting what is most precious, your peace and your focus. You don't need long explanations, nor should you feel guilty for setting boundaries. The more selective you are, the more valuable you become. When those who didn't value you start hearing your firm and consistent no's, the shock is inevitable, because before they had an automatic yes. Now they must deal with restricted access, and this hurts their ego. Learning to say no doesn't mean being harsh or selfish. It means recognizing that your life is not a red carpet for others' comfort. And believe me, the more you practice, the more you realize that you haven't lost anything. On the contrary, you've gained respect, even from those who once thought they could surpass your limits. Number 4. Live experiences that don't include them. Another silent blow to those who didn't value you is realizing that you're creating amazing memories, and they're not part of them. Travel, visit new places, explore different hobbies, build new connections. Do things that fill you with life. Stoicism teaches that we should embrace the present as if it were unique. And when you begin living intensely, you let go of any emotional dependency on the past. People who once ignored you start to feel a pang when they see you living stories in which they no longer have a place. Because this means that, in your narrative, they've become closed chapters. And believe me, this realization is painful for those who once had a prominent place in your life. Living experiences without including those who didn't value you is not just about distancing yourself. It's about creating a new version of yourself that doesn't carry old weights. Number 13. Become indispensable to yourself. One of the greatest shifts to provoke regret in those who didn't value you is stopping the search for indispensability in others and becoming indispensable in your own life. This means learning to meet your emotional needs, creating routines that sustain you, and depending less and less on external validation to feel complete. You start doing things for yourself, not to impress or please. You learn to cook your own meals, manage your finances, solve problems alone, and make decisions with confidence. Stoicism teaches that self-sufficiency is freedom. And when you become someone who doesn't need others to feel safe or fulfilled, the dynamic of your relationships changes completely. Those who didn't value you will realize they've lost not only your presence but also the opportunity to be next to someone who knows how to stand on their own. This hurts because they realize that, while many still live trapped in emotional dependence, you've found true independence. The most interesting part is that this posture doesn't push people away. It attracts those who are also secure and mature. Become indispensable to yourself, and you'll never accept being where you're not respected. And inevitably, those who once neglected you will deeply feel the absence of the space they've lost. Number 2. Be inspired to be your best version. Nothing provokes more regret in those who didn't value you than seeing you become the best version of yourself. It's not just about changing the outside, but about evolving deeply on the inside. It means cultivating habits that elevate your mind, body, and spirit. Reading more, seeking knowledge, taking care of your physical and emotional health, surrounding yourself with positive people, and nurturing healthy relationships. It's about investing in yourself as your top priority. Stoicism reminds us that self-development is the only thing that can never be taken from us. When you dedicate yourself to grow, expand your potential, and live more fully, you silently but powerfully send a message. I don't need anyone to feel complete. Those who once didn't know how to recognize your value, when they see this transformation, inevitably feel the weight of loss. Because they realize that the one who was once always available is now someone more selective, more confident, and harder to reach. The impact is even greater because this change doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistency, discipline, and focus. And when the results appear, they're impossible to ignore. Inspire yourself every day to surpass the version of yesterday. Not to prove anything to anyone, but so that when you look back, you're proud of who you've become. And inevitably, those who didn't value you will realize that they lost the chance to walk beside someone who chose to grow, and now walks on a much higher level. Number 1. Choose to be happy, even without recognition. The last and most powerful step is understanding that your happiness doesn't depend on who valued you or not. It's your daily decision. Stoicism is clear. Happiness is in controlling your own mind. This means that, even without external recognition, you can live with purpose, joy, and peace. When someone who ignored you realizes that you are well, really well, without needing to prove anything to them, regret is inevitable. Because it becomes clear that the power they thought they had over your life never truly existed. You are in control. You choose your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions. And that is liberating. In the end, the greatest lesson is that those who didn't value you no longer have a place in your story. And, ironically, it's precisely when you no longer need them to recognize your value that they miss you the most. If this content spoke to you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to receive more powerful Stoicism and self-development lessons. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these words today. Leave your like to support and strengthen this work. Comment below which of these attitudes you'll put into practice first. Your interaction is the fuel for us to continue creating transformative content. Remember, your life changes when you decide to act.